Many structures still stand in the Mojave, even after centuries of disuse. The Rey Motel is one such place, located just outside Camp McCarran, a small hotel with only 3 rooms available to us. Situated near New Vegas and the local raider gangs, it is frequented by both the less desirable members of society and the drug crazed. Under normal circumstances, you would loot them and be done with it, as there's not much of interest to be found within. At first glance, I, however, believe that there's a larger story to these rooms, and that is what we will be looking at today. A tale of debt, drugs, teddy bears, and bark scorpions. Some of what I say is information we know, some is pieced together from the objects that are located in the rooms, so falls within the realms of speculation. Before we go any further, this episode is a little darker than my usual stuff, simply based on the conclusion I have come to based on what we find in these 3 rooms. The matter of rape and child abuse comes up, so I ask anyone who is uncomfortable with such subjects to please stop watching, as I don't want you getting upset. If, however, you're okay with the discussion of such a topic, then let's take a look at one of the darker areas in the Mojave. The first room has bark scorpions. Yeah, that caught me off guard at first too. On the table at the far side of the room is a note you cannot pick up. It is entitled Threatening Note and reads as follows. Your debt still remains unpaid. We have warned you twice, there will not be a third warning, only consequences. You have 1 day. So it is evident that there's a debt to be paid, and it has not been done so. Now to me that means that a moneylender of some description was involved, which means this threat was a serious one. I can't help but wonder if the bark scorpions were the consequence that they spoke of, because if that is the case, I'm not even mad. That is both awesome and damn impressive. I mean, the logistics of trapping them and unleashing them into the room alone, but I digress. The pencil on the table means that the person who made the threat must have broken into the room and written the note while the recipient was not here. Now, based on some of the objects in the room being knocked over, it's obvious there was a struggle. Well, that's because the supposed recipient is dead. Ordinarily a body would be lying here, a dead Wastelander, dispatched by either the bark scorpions or the shelf. I kind of hope it was the bark scorpions, because getting killed by an inanimate object that only moved because you pulled it is pretty sad. The body isn't here, which I've noticed has been happening to me lately, and it's going to happen in the other 2 rooms as well, although for the life of me I have no idea why. Clearly pulling the shelf down didn't help him, it either killed him or pinned him and let the bark scorpions finish the job. This next room is pretty odd. There's lots of weird shit, primarily the crazed Chem addict, who is always hostile. But more on that later. So first up, this person was definitely an alcoholic of the highest order, meaning if they breathed on a match there would be a fucking dragon. The desk has a lot of notes on it, which makes me think that they may have been stressing over the contents of them. Then of course we have the Christmas lights and the weird female mannequin in the corner. Yeah, it's another one of those rooms. Then there's the knife on the table, and the teddy bear. So we have a very drunk individual who has lots of weird shit in the room, is high on chems, and then a knife and a teddy bear. Now that wouldn't matter, except I'm pretty sure a child lived in the next room. So yeah, I'm not saying this guy's a child killer / molester, but I'd say there's enough here and in the next room to at least entertain the idea. Or the alternative is that this was the room of an alcoholic and chem addict who hung lights and wanted to grope a mannequin. That just makes me feel sad. So this last room is trashed in many parts. Usually you can find a dead Wastelander by the bed, who appears to have OD'd on chems. However, that weird bug removed the body on me. Also, we find large amounts of blood on the walls and in the toilet. There's also a teddy bear stuffed into the drain, most likely the child's doing, which we will get to later. Now, I believe that another person was living here with the Wastelander, a child to be specific. The child occupied the bed on the left, and the adult on the right. There's also a few books on the bed and more teddy bears, which I highly doubt belong to the adult. Now, there is quite a bit of blood in this room, and it's trashed, something I doubt a child did. There's also the chance that the adult did not OD and was in fact killed. But who would do such a thing? Why, the crazed bastard in the second room. Consider what we know. They were located on the same floor as the child and adult. They were most likely heavily intoxicated and high as fuck. They were probably low in meds at this point and may have found out that the individual in the next room over had a good supply of meds. Maybe he decided to go take those meds. That would explain why the room is destroyed and why there's blood everywhere. The adult in the room started to fight, the chem addict, and was eventually killed by them. Their syringes are empty not because they injected themselves, but because the chem addict decided to take the drugs then and there. Then they noticed the child. At this point, even I'm hesitant to speculate. In the Chem addict's room, there's a teddy bear in the bed, so the child may have been brought into the room. There's also a belt on the ground. Now, for the sake of saying what everyone may be considering, yeah, there is a chance the child may have been molested. Shit, not far from here you can get a mission where you console a female officer who was raped. So I think, if not likely, it is still plausible. The child was taken back here, possibly abused, and almost certainly killed, if the knife is anything to go on. The adult in the other room was more likely than not their parent, but we can't know for sure as it could just as easily have been someone taking care of them. The saw in the bottom room gets none of my sympathy at this point. He borrowed money, didn't pay it back, and got lynched by bark scorpions. What a fucking wally. I hope you liked this episode looking into some of the darker places in the Mojave, and the lives of the people that dwelt there. If you did, why not leave a like? I love reading comments, so get them in there. Any suggestions for future content or videos you would like me to do are appreciated and welcome. If you want to help me grow, share this video on as many social media sites as you can, especially Reddit. Tell everybody. If you want to contact me regarding business, send me a private message either here or on Twitter, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I hope to see you in my next episode, and until then, goodbye.